So you found a way to get to California. You found your way to get a job that worked with Lee Stewart, I guess, up at
Lee Stewart,
Souverain.
Cellars, yeah.
Can you tell us the story of what that it felt like? Because it feels pretty vivid, even in George Tabor's accounting in Judgment at Paris. There were certain seminal moments, key moments that seemed to be, for you, signs and wonders and things are going to be somehow okay. Where did that fit in terms of that very first opportunity to arrive in the nighttime in St. Helena and take it from there?
Of course, nobody waited for me on the bus. Bus arrived in St. Helena at 2 o'clock in the evening. Nobody waited for me, and neither I knew what is going to happen, because I hoped that Mr. Lee Stewart will pick me up. And so I called him, and he says, "Mike, it's too late for me to come down. Find some place to stay overnight. I'll pick you up tomorrow morning." And so I walked toward the main street. I heard some noise. It was one bar at the St. Helena Hotel. And I stayed there, and in the morning, Mr. Lee Stewart came to pick me up. And the first day, I have found something very interesting later on. And that was that I looked at the vineyard of Zinfandel growing around the winery. And I looked at how those grapes look like. And they looked just the same as one that I had in Croatia. So I felt, my goodness, am I in America or in Croatia? It was really something that I felt very important for my later life, these subjects for later days. And maybe after 20 years, I revived that idea with University of Davis, Dr. Meredith. And I told her if she goes to Croatia, she can find roots of Zinfandel. Because I read in the books about varieties, and where it says Zinfandel, nobody knows where it came from. And I thought I knew. So I tried to pursue her to go to Croatia and do DNA testing, and once forever find out the roots of Zinfandel. Very important for California wine industry. And when she came back to Davis, he found her assistant and told her that she just came from Mike Grgich. And that assistant said, "I know Mike Grgich. How do you know him?" He said, "Because I'm Croatian like he is." "Do you speak Croatian language?" She says, "Yes." So when she was in Yantville, I promised her if she goes to Croatia, she can stay in my winery and do research. And then this lady came to her mind that she can translate her, go with her as translator. And then in a few weeks, she got a message from University of Zagreb, which I studied, that they invite her to come to teach them how to do DNA testing. And those three things together pulled her into Croatia, and she stayed in my winery and did research. Wow. And finally, 2000, together with University of Zagreb researchers, they found roots of Zinfandel, called Crljenak. And that was on the birthday of Edi Maletić, professor from University of Zagreb. Ah. And interesting moment is that when I followed that business of the finding out research, and I was always in contact with the Croatia, what is happening. And one day I called my colleague that studied with me. I said, "Ivo, is anything coming up about this research about roots of Zinfandel?" He said, "I think something is coming." I said, "How is coming?" He said, "Edi Maletić, professor, definitely will tell you about it." I said, "Hey, can I have his telephone number?" So it was 9 o'clock in the evening. I called Dr. Maletić, and he said, "Yeah, Miljenko, we think we find but we cannot publicly say until we get confirmation from Dr. Meredith from University of Davis. So I was happy. I went to the bed and I just started to sleep and telephone rang. I said, who calls me by night, 3 o'clock in the morning?
Oh my gosh.
Eddie Malatic. He said, we get confirmation from Dr. Meredith that we found the roots of Zinfandel. And you see, the first day in Napa Valley, it was very important for me, for my future work, and for finding something better, something new.